Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to Orica Talks at the 29th edition of Orica Lebanon. We're delighted to be joined by some outstanding industry experts for a discussion on boutique hotels and how they are redefining the hospitality landscape. So without further ado, I'd like to just introduce our panelists. We have Michel Abche, owner and CEO of Lost Management. Michel is the founder of Admic, a master franchise company managing brands like BHV, Monoprix, and Home Deco. He developed City Mall, Lebanon's largest shopping mall, in 2004 and also operates the Galerie Lafayette department store in Dubai. In 2019, he launched the boutique hotel concept Hotel Lost, which opened its second location in Ash-Shafiyah in March 2025. We also have with us Samir Boubas, who is the chairman of Premier Leisure Holding, Boubas Group. He's been a key figure in hospitality since 1975. It's a long time. He's the owner of Commodore Hotel and is launching a boutique hotel on Rue Pasteur and introducing new restaurant concepts in central Beirut, which are shaping the city's vibrant culinary and hospitality scene. And last but not least, we have Richard Namour, managing partner at Hotel Albergo. Richard has expertise in developing, building, and managing hotels with a background in hospitality, real estate, development, and construction management. He successfully redeveloped and operates Hotel Albergo in Beirut. And this panel is being moderated by Naji Mouros Odema, founder. So Naji, I'll hand over to you and enjoy the session. There'll be a Q&A at the end as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, gentlemen. It's a great honor to have you. It's a great panel. The three of you are, owners. So you have, I'm sure, a lot to say about what's happening lately in Beirut. We are witnessing, we had this discussion earlier. I say a mushrooming of new buildings that are being transformed into boutique hotels. So you are managing some of them. Richard, you are owning and managing the famous Albergo. So I'll start by you, maybe asking you, what is a boutique hotel? And what is a boutique hotel in Lebanon? Is it different from Europe, or do we have some specificities in Lebanon?
I think it's a pretty wide definition. It can be, I think what sets it apart from a different hotel is that it can be whatever the owner or the development team imagine it to be. You have no restrictions. You don't have to follow a guidebook by a bigger company. You can turn a property into whatever you want. Beirut is a great place for doing them because it's easy to experiment here. You have great people to work with, talented artisans to bring your vision to life. So I think that boutique hotels are basically hotels that reflect the developer's intention. That's it. And I don't think it's different here than outside of Lebanon.
Thank you. Samir, do you have a say about that?
I don't think there's much to add, but as Richard's saying, at the end of the day, between here and outside, I don't think there's a big difference. The only difference is outside you have volume, you have tourism. So you have a larger quantity of them wherever you are, wherever you may, in any major city. Beirut, we've been in a dire situation the last few years. So maybe you hear of a few new places opening up or new hotels opening up, but on a scale, it's rather small. So even if we're talking the average boutique hotel, and we have to define what is boutique, because some people classify 25 to 100 rooms as boutique. Other people say over 100 rooms is boutique.
So what would you say?
Personally, I'm on the smaller scale, between the 25 to 100, not because, Bishard might go and say, okay, Albergo is a boutique hotel.
It is.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but as far as I'm concerned, it's large, and to be able to have his F&B, his diaspora, his personalization enables you to maybe to carry it off like a cost. However, I view the general boutique hotel is a smaller scale, more personalized, more quirky, which can be. I'm not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. A bit more. It's like a difference between a department store and a boutique. And when you have a larger hotel and you have a boutique, it's smaller, it's more trendy, more vibe, which they have because they're an exception. But if you're going to go to the Four Seasons and the Vendôme and the Phoenicia and all the large hotels they're going to open up soon, they're going to give you a more corporate, standardized feel, and I wouldn't view them as boutique.
Michel?
But I will just build on what everyone have said. For me, a boutique hotel is the experience. Each boutique hotel is different than the other. Each concept is different than the other. It differs totally from the big hotels, like you just said. Again, the experience is what makes the boutique hotel, or what doesn't make a boutique hotel. Now, definitely, there's a confusion in Lebanon between what is a boutique hotel and guest houses, because when you look at the definition, you see a lot of the guest houses calling themselves boutique hotel. It's all about the services we provide, and it's about the experience we give to our customers. And bottom line, you either like it or hate it, or have no opinion about it. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's too calm, sometimes it's fun, sometimes less fun. So it's all about what our teams are working on to create a great experience for the customers. Our customers come from across the world. A lot of the GCC countries, they come here to discover Beirut. In our case, at Los, for example, they come to discover Beirut and Gemaizi, so it's a different vibe they want to discover. The important part is putting, in my opinion, in any boutique hotel we create, and I just opened a new one, each one is different than the other. It's which vibe, which experience you want to give your customer. And this is what counts in a boutique hotel.
Okay, gentlemen, when you build this kind of hotel, do you plan to build a boutique hotel, or you just built a hotel? Maybe your dad was planning that when he started, Richard? Because legally, I mean, there's nothing called boutique hotel. Boutique hotel is a word that we are using as customers. But do you do that when you start or invest in that kind of project? Do you plan to open a boutique hotel?
I think we've never used the word boutique hotel in my life or in my dad's life also. You never use it. You're just building a hotel, and depending on the property you have, if you want to have full liberty, that's what you come out with. And for me, the main definition of a boutique hotel, for me, in Lebanon at least, is that you don't have a flag. So you're not an IHG, an Accor, and this allows you to create more of a local, if you want, grounds-up project from Beirut. And that's what gives it its vibe. And you're right. When you do reach a certain size, it's difficult to stay and keep that vibe. It's hard.
Yeah. You've been able to do it, which is excellent. But as you said...
Do you think food and beverage, because usually in Lebanon, we don't have the alcohol in hotels like in Dubai. So food and beverage in hotels is not very popular. They are in boutique hotels. And is the food and beverage a major component of a boutique hotel? Michel?
First of all, to answer the first question you asked, when you're designing anything or you're creating any new project, whatever you're doing, you should have and you must have a proper definition of what you are aiming for. So in my case, when I was approached first time to open an Airbnb, I looked at the drawings, I looked at the building, and I said, you know what, I don't feel like opening an Airbnb, but again, let me try opening a boutique hotel. So first coming with a definition of this is what I want to do, then you say, what is your objective? So you define what you want to do, you go in and say, what is your objective? A bit academic, but again, let's talk about it the way we should be doing it. And when you decide what to do, you say, okay, those are the components. But always, faced with a lot of issues. One of them are the buildings we're in. Some of us, and I think all of us, have started with old buildings. So old buildings are very hard to redefine and build around. So that's a lot of, we find a lot of difficulties in meeting what we want to do and what we want to achieve. So in our opinion, at least in my opinion, what I have tried to do is always incorporate a function of F&B in it. And since we were targeting the young crowd, the bar was an essential part of our boutique hotel concept, where you check in and our teams are well trained to receive our clients at the bar or at the reception. It can go both ways. So the fun part that we created around the F&B made also the boutique hotel very accessible to a larger crowd or a younger crowd also.
Samir, you started by the restaurant, brasseria, and they're building the hotel above it. So what's your say about that?
You want the truth? We started off looking in the Jumeirah area, not for hotels, and it was a dynamic area, and you had a lot of Airbnb, and it was close to Solidaire. I started off initially to go for a restaurant, and then the opportunity came to take the rest of the building. And due to the site and the rooftop of the building, you have a beautiful view of the port. So especially, you have half the building is a sea view. So you have a very nice view if you're there or on the roof. We started with the brasseria and we were continuing the whole concept, and then everything erupted here, so we put everything on hold. Now the idea is to go in, and the reason why we went for what we're saying boutique, 27 rooms, is the reason that everything over the last few years in Lebanon that was major and large suffered, be it hotels, be it health clubs, be it restaurants, because the overheads were big. And you lose a lot of the personalization, and you cannot get the human resource. Staff, a lot of exodus of qualified people left the country, so you were left with large spaces and with no specialists. So it was much easier to say, okay, I will scale down, do something artistic and F&B related, because we are in F&B. So we said, okay, there's an opportunity to have a restaurant, have the rooming above, and have a rooftop with a nice pool and seating on the roof, which would complement the whole concept. At the same time, any hotel that would be opening in the downtown, which is a 5-minute walk, and tourism arise, is going to be at a much higher price due to their overheads. Because we're going to go back to having a franchise fee and having big teams and having spaces. And worldwide, where we were previously in Lebanon, let's say in 2018-19, you'd reach the Phoenicia and the Vendôme at $200. Today, that price is not going to come back because hotel prices worldwide have
we'll
skyrocketed.
Come back to the prices, but
okay.
F&B is
I think F&B, but what is a boutique? Does a boutique hotel have to have F&B?
That's a question that I'm asking. So,
I think
Richard, you have like 3, 4, 5 outlets.
But I don't think they're necessary. It's just it happens that we have them.
Do you think so, really?
Yeah, they're anchors depending on your price point, what kind of client you want to attract. They can help, but they can also hurt. As you said, a lot of hotels have empty F&B spots.
Yeah.
So
you have to be good.
Yes.
So you're still planning the reopening of Al Dente, correct? In one of the buildings.
Incorrect.
All news.
We don't know what we're doing yet.
All news, but because you had that discussion and you wanted to.
We may do a different restaurant.
Okay. But so another restaurant again.
We will eventually have another one, but it's not in the planning phase yet. Okay. Not even there.
So definitely a crucial component of the boutique hotel is an F&B. Do you have some ratios?
No, definitely not. We all agree that definitely not. Let me go back to.
He has 6 restaurants,
but I don't agree.
But it's not. He goes back, guys, to the experience you want to give.
And the price point.
You go to a W hotel, for example, around the world. You go to W. All of them has music, are loud. You expect to have a party there. You go to the Four Seasons, I'm taking examples randomly that comes to my mind. It's very quiet, very soft, you enjoy your time, luxury, etc. So all of them can have or cannot, the boutique hotel can or cannot. It's just the experience you want to give.
To answer Samir, we can have a boutique hotel without an F&B?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So do you have an example?
Plenty in Paris.
Give me one.
Plenty. I don't have them in my mind of my mind. But yeah.
Without a restaurant?
Yeah.
Definitely you have some.
Give me an example.
No, there are many. I don't have examples at the top of my head, but if you want to go back to what price is a boutique hotel? Is there a price range?
Yeah. We're coming back to the
but
price.
The facility. No, the facility. Because if you have a restaurant, you have a rooftop, you have 3 lifts, or you have a swimming pool and whatever, you can price at a certain price. If you just have rooming and you go in, and then you're a boutique hotel, you have 20 rooms, you have a concierge, or you don't have, or you have it automated, and they go in, that's a boutique hotel. So each one, as Richard is saying, has an identity, you can dream and do a take. Some can have F&B, some can not have, some can have a club. As my friend Michel was saying, that if you go to a W or an SLS, it's on fire. The music in the lifts, you're going in and you're going, I'm clubbing today. So it depends on the identity of the place and the price point that you're in, because the price point will determine what sort of facilities you have to have.
Okay, let's open the subject of the pricing.
And most hotels in the US today, boutique or not boutique, are outsourcing the restaurants. So they're not even running them. So they want to focus on what they do, which is selling rooms, and someone else comes and runs the F&B. So it's not a prerequisite to have them.
Okay. Pricing point. Pricing. Does boutique hotel follow a trend? Follow like a bracket in the pricing? Is it?
I think Richard said it in the first place. Today it depends everybody what they're dreaming. What is their product? So depending on your product and the facilities that you're delivering, be it the amenities, is it automation? Do you have F&B? Do you have a pool? What services you have? How personalized it is? All of these will determine. So there's no one price, that a boutique hotel is at $200 or $150 or $120. Depends what you're going to serve. Richard is a boutique hotel. How much is he charging today? If he's charging $500 or $600, for example, okay, do we all go into that classification that we're a boutique hotel and with $500 or $600?
It's very different. It's what people are willing to pay, basically, for that specific experience.
It's the experience, exactly, the facilities you have, and booking.com. So, to go back to that exact sentence I said, again, I always, and they name in the introduction all the things I have done before. I always say the market is supply and demand. It's not me, I say it's the pure economics, supply and demand. So whatever you do and whatever you want to sell it for, it doesn't matter. It's what people are willing to pay for the services and facilities you have. Now, how to make it more expensive or less expensive is how much more fun or interesting you will make it for that particular client to come and spend it and spend their money in your hotel. So to go back on the price in Beirut right now, we are all down there. And
because of demand.
Because of the demand, and there's not enough demand right now. And if you look at the number of rooms, because you said they are mushrooming, in fact, we don't have a big number of rooms in Lebanon. If you look at the number of rooms, we're very little compared to other markets.
You mean all hotels? Or
all hotels combined.
Even with the ones that are going to open, even the large chains. If you take how many rooms there are between the 4 and the 5 stars, you're talking in Dubai. We were in previously, for example, in the Eid period. You had 2 million Saudis coming over that period. The mall was opening 24 hours. If you have 2,000 people, you don't have rooms here. So we're talking what's mushrooming and what's scale. So
to go back on the pricing, the basic rule is supply demand. I added to it booking.com, right, guys? So we look at each other. We look at the market. We see where everybody is. Looking at the facilities and what we offer them, we price our products accordingly. In our opinion, and in my personal opinion, I think there's plenty of room in Beirut or in Lebanon for a lot of different things. We're all entrepreneurs and we all like to do things in Lebanon. Everybody wants to open their own thing in Lebanon. There's plenty of room to do a lot of things, because when you compare the Lebanese market and the Beirut market specifically, we're short of everything, especially after the last 10, 15 years where there was no investment. And since 2019, there's no banks to do anything. So look at it this way. It's our role to find which experience and which boutique hotel we want to open or not because of the subject, or restaurant for that matter. It's the responsibility of the government to go back and say, guys, we're missing tourism, and we just met the Minister of Tourism outside, who will try to do a great job, hopefully. It all goes back to the security, and we all know that. To go back on the pricing, if we want to thrive, we need tourists. To have tourists, we need stability.
To focus on the pricing,
yes, let's go.
Is there a bottom low or a ceiling? You know that I know, Richard, you told me once you have a dynamic approach about the rates.
It's the same thing as demand. So as demand goes up, our prices go up as well.
Yeah, but
I think most hotels are doing that.
And I would tell you, just ask Roy. If go on booking, يا روي وشوف لي شو عم بيصير. Practically, the reality of Lebanon, but all the markets are the same. نحن هون we see Oreca today, and coming to Biel, there was no parking. حدا لقى parking اليوم, nobody found a parking.
No supply.
Look at the number of people. Just because there's one good show happening today in Beirut, it's packed. Imagine now you have 10 of those shows. Will our hotels fill or not? That's what you're looking for. And if you look at Paris, you look at Germany, at any big city, our role is to be able to service people coming to the country. There's now a bigger role somewhere else that somebody should be doing to bring in people to this country. And this is where right now the debate should be.
So we have demand, inshallah.
No, potential.
We have potential demand. We foresee
Hopeful.
we foresee an upcoming demand. Great. Samir, do you have a say about the pricing? Is there a bottom low or a ceiling?
I don't see there's a bottom or a ceiling. If you're empty, I don't know how low you can go. It might be cheaper to close at a certain stage. And when there's demand, it depends on the facility and the competition, the number of places that have a similar product and what they're offering. And as Michel is saying, it's all about seasonality and exhibitions. I mean, I have a guest now who's a restaurateur, who is the owner of Relais d'Entrecôte in Paris. And he's telling me they're doing numbers today, which they never did in their life, because there's an exhibition every month. In the past, there used to be summer fashion or winter fashion. Now there's 2 fashion shows. There's the car show. So as long as there's shows, exhibitions, this is why in the past, you need a major space for shows that will generate traffic and have people come in, and that will create the demand. And definitely, the number of outlets the number of rooms in the country is very small, but the demand is very small today. So you're caught in the chicken and the egg.
But I also think that restaurants and hotels can also drive demand. The more there are,
yes. They create the experience and the vibe and the style and the lifestyle that you want to. It's the add-on. And why do you choose this place and not the other? Because the reason we went to Jumeirah in the first place, or Pasteur, was that all the Airbnb, all the foreigners, all the bars, the restaurants, you could walk to Saifi, you could walk to downtown. It was all within a certain vicinity at a lesser cost. Because as soon as you go into downtown, the rents go up, the land goes up, the overheads go up. So it's like being on the edge where you have that leeway to maneuver with the vibe. And if you create an F&B or a night scene, you can create that animation in the space.
Okay, so you all agree that F&B is not the major
No, we didn't say F&B. No, you asked a generic question. Is a boutique hotel
I want
F&B?
To try to, if we have investors in the public, in the audience, I want to understand what is the secret formula of this experience. So how to build the experience. How to build it. How to build this experience.
Listen, I was stuck with the lobby. I designed part of the design. I said, okay, part of it, I'm going to design a lobby for the clients to come, have tea. So, and then I targeted a younger crowd that wanted to visit Lebanon all the time. Those people were not staying at the hotel a lot of time. They visited all over Lebanon, which is great. We help them find places to go, and they just pack and then go during the day, come back at night, sleep. Practically, we had space that we didn't know how to use it, and we came up with the lobby bar. So we turned the lobby into a fun experience, and here come the teams that helped me build it in a way that people staying at the hotel, now either they don't like music, so they leave to other hotels, they go to Albergo, or if they like the music, they would stay.
People like music at Albergo.
and they will just stay. What I'm trying to say is that, again, it goes back to several factors. The building any boutique hotel or any hotel for that matter that does not know which experience to give to their customers will always be, you'll be searching for yourself and searching for your customer.
But don't forget the three have all worked F&B. So you cannot, I wouldn't, as Richard was saying, today the majority of major large hotel chains, they're outsourcing their F&B. In this particular case, the three of us have worked F&B. So you're able to amalgamate between the F&B and the rooming, which might not be the general rule for a boutique hotel or somebody coming to invest.
I'm trying to define it in Lebanon. So
in
what
Lebanon,
would be for you, Samir or Richard,
I think
the experience?
It's not really the experience. It's a bit of a hedge. So when you don't have tourists, your restaurants work well. And then when you have tourists, your hotel does well. It's a bit of a hedge.
Yeah.
No?
Definitely. And where we started off was, let's do the F&B and the club, and the viability. If the F&B succeeds, then even if you are, and that's why we said boutique, because you're talking 27 rooms, you can carry it, the size of it, even in bad times, you can carry this exposure. You're not carrying a big monster. And that way, if things improve, automatically you will get the benefit doubly of the F&B and the rooming.
Absolutely.
So who are your target clientele? Who are the clients of these boutique hotels? Are they the clients of regular 5-star, 4-star hotels? Are they clients of guest houses? Are they expats, Lebanese people? Who is
which boutique hotel?
Your boutique hotels.
Please go ahead.
And I'll go for the Gen Zs and a bit maybe the millennials. But no, definitely baby boomers now. And I don't like to talk about it as I like to see who's the crowd. The crowd that likes to come to Beirut, who they are. You're talking the GCC, who are so far not present except few countries this past Eid. And we have the tourists from different European countries or some other Arab countries. This is what we have today as tourism, and it's very short of what we should be having. The client is defined also with a lot of Lebanese diaspora that comes, that don't want to go to their houses because they're too far, or don't want to open them because it's too expensive, or so
pay
on.
the services.
So they, exactly, it's too expensive to pay the services. So they come to the hotel instead. It's much cheaper for a week, 2 weeks, and then go back to their countries. The definition of who is the client of those places is very wide. This is why I go back to choose your target, who you're targeting. We target the young. We don't have elevators, so it made it very simply in Jummaizi, in Ashrafi, we have an elevator. So at the beginning, it started to people who cannot, they can do the talk but not walk the walk. So they could not come and stay at Lost. And we built on it. So it became known that this is what we have. We tell the clients, those are the services we have, those are the services we don't have. Okay. Accordingly, we were able to select this client base that we have today.
Richard, who is your target clientele?
I think the lines are a bit blurred today. We have people that want to come and experience Beirut in a Beiruti environment, in a property that's historic. But we also have a lot of Lebanese people that want to come back and stay there, that like the vibe of the hotel. We have young people that stay there because of our F&B. We have people that stay there because of our location. I wouldn't say we have a specific type of customer. It's a super wide range in types of age, nationality.
Samir, you're targeting the same kind of clientele, like Lost with the young people, or?
I don't think so. I don't. It's so difficult to say who I'm targeting, because with no customers, it's very difficult to target anyone today. I think the major idea is as Richard was saying, to carry the F&B, and we have fortunately lifts in our structure. So we have 3 lifts. We'll go to a roof. So you have a rooftop. So you have a rooftop and the F&B. But the thing is not to have too loud. It's not going to be a loud rooftop because then you will not have anybody staying in the hotel below. So it's finding the balance. However, there's such a shortage. I view all things being equal and relatively stable. No boom, no exceptional country, no electricity, no Arabs, no anything, but just have the lowest of the low. There's still a demand for this scale to be able to target a limited number of customers in a nice area close to downtown. And now if you see, the downtown area is opened up again. So you have the Beirut Souks opening, maybe the parliament in the future. So you're close to this area where somebody would be interested to come. Obviously, it should be more affordable than the major chains to make it interesting and give them a personalized service where they feel they're coming at home. They have nicer gadgets and technology and automation, cooler things than they have in their own house. So they say, oh, I'll come to this place because it's cool. You know, I have nice bedding, nice mattresses, everything that is, you know, thought of, rather than this standardized, what I'm going to tell you, boutique hotel, which I don't know what it is.
Who are your competitors? Did you create demand, or you took the clientele? I know it's difficult to talk about the clientele given the crisis and the war and the whole situation, but did you hurt the existing hotels, or did you create a demand from some Lebanese or some expats that were not going to hotels? What's your say about that?
These guys, go ahead.
Listen, it's very. The market is too small. Let's face it. Even with all the big hotels closed, we are not filling up our rooms in the past 2-3 years, except peak seasons. So definitely, it's very hard to benchmark today on your question and what should be the case. Baba, in my opinion, it's very hard. We have to have a year or two of real customer base, GCC and others, to be able to say we can build on it as numbers. And statistically, it's very harsh.
We have no data, basically. Zero data.
Listen, we even asked ChatGPT. I asked Peter the other day, go on ChatGPT, tell us what it is. And he said, oh, I got this information, but no source of where this information is coming from. But then I was able to cross-check it with Google, but both of them gave the same data with no source of information. You look at the Ministry of Tourism, and شفتي كيف شفتك رايحة من هيك قلت لك بدي أعمل الضرب. بتسأل, you ask for numbers. We ask for numbers about who are the tourists Lebanon. We see a lot of data coming up. Now, if we remove from the tourist data that we have today, all the Syrians coming to cross over the country, or all the Iraqis coming, which are great tourists when they are NGOs. Tourists, by the way. And when we remove the NGOs coming, they are counted as tourists. Who are the real tourists today? And it's a question I ask my government to answer us on this question. This is what I want to work with, for example, Odema on one side and others, to help us really get proper statistics on who are the real customers. Because when we talk 1 million or 2 million, they gave me the numbers of last year. Really? Did we see them? I mean, the hotel's not even full.
So you're planning, I mean, you did the expansion of the albergo, you are investing in hotels, the third Lost coming, many other projects, and all that is built on
hope.
Hope.
You're looking at us in shock like stupidity.
No, I'm just trying to understand what is driving you. Where do you see the
we don't.
I will give you an example. I was walking 4 days ago. I have a project in the Beirut Souks. And for the last 4 days, because I have a project, I walking down. And they just opened it recently. For the first time in 10 years, I saw 40 to 50 Gulf nationals walking in, every time I go, walking in the area. I haven't seen them for 10 years. We still haven't signed peace. I'm not saying peace, I'm saying we haven't finished from the ceasefire, forget the peace. We haven't agreed with the Arabs, we haven't done any reconstruction. What happens if suddenly you decide, yes, there is an influx of people, where are they going to go?
And even with all this crap that we've been through over the last 3 years, people still like coming here.
Yes.
It's a cool place.
You should see them. I mean, as they're walking in the souks, they're taking
People are
videos, showing everybody around. Look, Alo opened, X opened. Look at the places. Look at the nostalgia. And even if you're going to think about the whole area, because of the young or the younger generation, they didn't live this area because it's been out of action because everything is hostility in this area. And as Richard is saying, if you go to, for example, Ashrafi, you have the Gabrielle and you have the Albergo. How many rooms you talking? If somebody wants to stay, you have conferences, you have meetings, you have guests that you want to discuss things. Where can you go? What are the options?
What about the outside of Beirut? What about seeing tomorrow an albergo on the beach or a lost on the mountain? Or
I think they will go.
Are you planning that?
Like you can get lost anywhere, so that's not the issue. The real issue today are three things. First of all, we need tourism. Yani we need proper tourism. Two, we need safety. Yani safety.
Security.
Not 1 week it's happening, the other week there's something else happening, and then here the cancellations come. But mainly to be able to operate and open new projects, we need a banking system. اليوم we are operating with whatever we can do. We are investing with whatever we can invest with.
No banks.
Without any banking system and without any system basically operational. And the last I will add also, we need the support to be able to expand and open more and more of those hotels, whether boutique hotels or other. You need all the infrastructure that goes beyond what's happening today and a lot of other things. But I go back a little bit. Yeah, the reason why there are those things, because some of us decided not to leave the country. And I think the reason why we're doing those projects here, because we love it here. We all came back for a reason. We love it here. So we say, okay, let's do something here, something elsewhere.
But you did not answer my question, all of you. What about boutique hotels outside Beirut?
I think the infrastructure will not allow you to do so in the short term because, first of all, as Michel is saying, you need the stability. Secondly, the seasonality. So you need a city which is working all year. And is there stability to be able to do it in a city? If you want to go to Batroun or whatever, you can be a boutique, but it's more an F&B mix like a guest house. I see them more than a boutique hotel where you're going for rooming and the F&B is secondary. I wouldn't risk it in one of the smaller cities. You can risk a guest house being in the mountains or on the sea and doing something smaller where the owner operator. But to actually take a building somewhere and go outside Beirut, I personally think it's still early, but it could develop if we go to stability, tourism, and everything else that follows.
I'm more bullish on Beirut. I want to see Beirut get fixed and then...
Yeah, there's so much to do in Beirut. Yeah, before you even go anywhere else, there's so much to do in Beirut. Again, mind you, there are a lot of beautiful towns, cities that you can do things in. But it goes back to the infrastructure. Yeah, going somewhere in Lebanon, going from Ashrafi to here, it took us an eternity.
And no tourism. I remember in the olden days when there was a lot of tourism and we were having big numbers. To go from Verdun to downtown, you couldn't. From downtown to Ashrafi, you couldn't. Because if you're going Ashrafi to Hazmi, you couldn't. Because everywhere was stuck with tourism and the infrastructure of the roads don't allow you to do so. So you're stuck wherever. That's why you have the malls that all came up everywhere, where you're stuck in Verdun, go to this mall. You're stuck in Ashrafi, go to this mall. Downtown, this mall, because you cannot communicate. It's so close when there's no traffic, but when there's traffic, it's impossible to get to A to B to go 1 kilometer.
What about IT? What about AI? What about the room of the future? We have some designers here. Are we still betting on this neo-retro colonial ambiance of these boutique hotels? Or can we think about a design hotel, a modern hotel, an IT hotel, a room of the future with AI? Do you foresee that coming, or it's too early for Beirut?
I foresee it maybe in the future, but not in the short term, especially here.
I wouldn't want to stay there.
Yeah, you want
Listen,
something not personalized.
Again, you're gonna say maybe I go back to what I call the experience. It's very, yani, virtual reality can be the thing
Virtual.
of the future. Eh?
Virtual.
Virtual reality
Yeah.
can be something of the future, but there are certain things we like to feel. Okay, so I don't want to go somewhere else, but in fact, AI can replace a lot of things in the future, but there are things that people will still want to do.
Okay, last question. If you can tell us, and then we will go to the audience. If you can tell us about your projects, what's upcoming for the next, I mean, the year to come. Do you have any projects? Isha.
We're finishing 23 rooms. Finally, it's been a few years we've been working on them. They should be done by December, so we should have them open. Other than that, we have a few real estate projects, but nothing in F&B.
And are you still in the sizes will be suites like the others, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So your total number of rooms would be 23 plus 33 of the.
They're a bit the new, so it's 56 suites,
56.
but the newer rooms are a bit bigger.
Okay. Thank you, Samir. Any new projects?
Not really. Trying to finish the old projects.
Absolutely.
So once we finish the old projects, we'll see what's going to happen in the country, and then hopefully we'll have an opportunity to maybe think about doing something else.
So when is Beirut Souks opening in terms of
Beirut
F&B?
Souks in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Wonderful.
Okay, great. Michel.
Okay, we just open, or we're opening very soon next week, part of the Ashafiye Lost. I think we're getting it ready for an opening before Easter. We open Mama's restaurant at the lobby down in this hotel. So our objective is to finish this 16 rooms hotel that we just launched, or we're launching by the end of this month, before Easter. So that's the first objective, the immediate objective we have. We'll keep developing whatever we can see as an opportunity. But right now, I think it's better to just stay put and wait and see.
Consolidate.
And wait and see.
Consolidate.
I think right now, we don't know when the storm is going to come back. So let's wait and see.
Hopefully not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any question in the audience? Nobody? No one? There's a question.
Yeah, hello, how are you? Thank
Hello.
you so much actually for the informative talk. This question is not directly to you because I've been hearing that you need lots of data from the Ministry of Tourism. We've been like a diaspora, always we coming to Lebanon and so many tourism or many people visiting, but we've never seen, this is addressed to Ministry of Tourism as well, any card distributed on the airplane or in the airport where you're willing to stay for how many days, and your address, your email, like any country where you're going or over there. We've never seen this for the last maybe 10 or 15 years in Lebanon. So I think this should start even before the beginning of the summer, where you would be delighted with those information, would be like having a source of data where you can really rely on in order to expand or to be having the right information, I believe.
100%.
Thank you.
We had we had a few years back. We had those catalogs or those information listed in many different promotional booklets that they have created for Lebanon. And nevertheless, we have also to take into consideration all the social media today. Social media has taken over all the prints that we have seen in the past. It's true that people right now, they arrive to the country with a list to do already in their hands, with the places they want to discover already in their hands. And even if we do print anything today, in my opinion, and I don't know you guys, but I have seen them all stuck to their phones and following which place to go, asking you about the places to go, and so on. Today's economies everywhere in the world are driven by social media. And I think if anything has to be done, it has to be done through social media.
But I think the point of filling in the application form, not just for security, but knowing where people are staying, will indicate whether they're actually tourists or not tourists.
See, he in the way whether they're coming or not. And the cross matching is something else. But we're talking about information, صح? صح. So practically, I think right now we all have to rethink the business model with the social media world we are in, we live in. ما بعرف. هذا رأيي.
Thank you. Another question? Someone? Yes?
Thank you for the amazing session. You mentioned earlier that opening a boutique hotel outside of Beirut is a bit challenging and you don't have any plans or vision to do so. Mr. Samir also mentioned that opening a guest house is something easier and more sustainable.
More sustainable.
More sustainable, yes, because of the difference in demand in the cities. What do you think is the main factor that allows a guest house to survive? Is it the number of rooms or maybe the cost of the operation? And if you would think about opening a boutique hotel outside Beirut, let's say in Batroun, Byblos, the mountains, what would you do differently to make it easier or more sustainable to operate it?
I think, first of all, the most difficult thing about a boutique hotel or even a guest house is going to be the service. So do you have the qualified people that are going to be... It's easy. Beirut, despite having a wide database for team members, is very difficult to find people. So if you want to offer a unique product outside Beirut and have it sustainable, you need the right team. Normally, why I said the guest house was because a guest house, you can have the owner operator. So the owner has that flair and has that ability to be on top of the operation. Outside Beirut, also you have to have, depending on the, as you said, I said Batroun because it's the trend and the sea and the vibe, and everybody is, social media, and everywhere in the summer they want to go to Batroun. So it's going to be a busy place. Or if you go to the mountains, there are beautiful places in the mountains which are picturesque and unique. However, you have to see how many people can you get in to keep it sustainable, and what is your view? What is success? How many people will you have to be successful? What sort of cost do you have to make it viable? And that depends also on the climate, because if the climate is good, then you have a better possibility to have people. You have a drone above your head. It's not going to be very inviting for people to come to Beirut or outside Beirut.
And I think there's also opportunity cost. It takes a lot of time to do one of those, and if the scale is small, then the rewards will be smaller as well.
Thank you.
One more question. You're okay? Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
There's
there is a
one
question. Sorry.
last question.
Thanks for sharing your expertise tonight. My question is, do you have any CSR related initiatives in the present? Or maybe if you don't have one now, are you open for the future to do any socially responsible initiatives? And I would love to hear the opinion of every one of you. Thank you.
For us, we build our model based on making sure, whichever old building, and I think Samir did the same, Albergo is the same, all the old buildings in Lebanon, we try to make sure at least they don't destroy them, and we build on them, and we make sure we rebuild them and redecorate them and add to them, etc. This is one of the major things we have done for Beirut at the moment. I think the next thing we should work on is to work with the legislators to ensure كمان that we save those buildings. I'm talking because we have been invested in it for quite some time. The remaining part, environment or any other things. The
problem is, as you're saying, that the majority of these are old buildings, and to keep the heritage. When you're going into new buildings, you can do green, you can do so many different things. And we've done modern buildings which have taken prizes for being green and being energy saving and all of this. The thing is to see with the old development how to keep the heritage, the style, and make sure that there's sustainability. However, the major problem has been that the instability does not give you the ability to plan and have an outlook for the next year or 2 years where you want to go, what you want to do, because it's like stop, start, stop, start. So once you get into a stage where you can start, then you can plan many things that you would like to be able to achieve, and you will plan your income and be able to distribute it according to what you'd like to do.
I do believe the instability is common for all
Sorry?
I do believe the instability is common for all the players in the industry. So don't you think maybe doing a CSR initiative, not only about the building, like energy saving or whatever, maybe like also it's a smart way to market the brand in a nice way and showing the
No,
good
definitely.
values by supporting.
انا in my opinion اذا بدنا نعمل شغله CSR اهم وحده وقفوا لنا هالموتورات واعطونا كهرباء. هيك we stop all the pollution in the country. Beyond that, all our resources are going somewhere else right now. يعني the effort that should have been done and what the subject you're saying should be done, but right now the resources are somewhere else completely. يعني survival mode, motor or no motor, وكهرباء or no كهرباء, etc. 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 I think there's a lot to be done. أنا قلتها بالأول. I said it from the beginning. There's plenty of things to do in Lebanon, especially after 2019. A lot of people left. There's plenty of things we all can do. We should start somewhere, but we should have to fix the system first. I can conclude with that. ما بعرف شو.
As they said, when you're putting out fires, it's hard to plan for the future every single day. But yeah, we support a bunch of NGOs, but nothing in-house or grown, but we should.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay.
Merci.
Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.